Okay, we have a rumor mill that is so juicy, but is so short. So, first thing in the rumor mill is Andor. This is going to be a little upsetting to some people. We're not going to touch on the Star Wars thing, the video that they just released on their YouTube channel that gives the new Wookiee character a last name. That's just ridiculous. That's never been a thing ever. And then all of a sudden, because people who are in charge of this are not fans, don't know what's going on. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is the announcement, or the potential announcement. This is a rumor. It was made to seem as an announcement from a lot of outlets, but it's still very much a rumor. So, and we're going to get into something similar with The Mandalorian. Anyway, so the new rumor is that Ewan McGregor is going to be a regular on the Andor series. Now, if you look at the timeline, that also shouldn't happen. So the reason I said the thing about the Wookiee at the beginning is because that lends credence to this. So what we know of right now as canon in the Star Wars universe is that while Obi-Wan was watching over Luke, he was living in solidarity. We also know that, yes, he did technically fight and kill Darth Maul, brain fart. While he did kill Darth Maul in this same time period, that was still on Tatooine, and Darth Maul kind of came looking for it, so he kind of asked for it. But by and large, he was living in solidarity without really much contact with the outside world because he was just supposed to be watching over Luke. So, if he is a regular on the Andor series that takes place in this time where he's supposed to be living in solidarity, then I feel like they're going to alienate a large amount of their core fan base. That's just silly, but again, they gave a Wookiee a surname, so anything is possible at this point. As far as validity for this rumor, it does not come from a good source. It comes from a relatively weak source. It's just the same source is being propagated through other sources. You look a little bit deeper there, they all are quoting the same person, so it's technically all one source. Oh, but that Disney thing is really the Wookiee thing rather is really sitting on my shoulders the wrong way. I feel like it shouldn't be this high, but I'm giving this a 35% validity rating because wow, just everything that's been going on the last couple of weeks is a little ridiculous for the Disney camp. Next, we're talking about the Nintendo Switch. We have reports that say there is going to actually be an upgrade to the Nintendo Switch hardware very soon. This upgrade is not only going to increase the resolution on the console itself and use a new OLED screen, an OLED screen, but is also going to output a proper 4K signal when docked, sending the signal to your TV. So that's pretty freaking awesome. Because of the nature of this report, because of the nature of this rumor, and the source that it comes from, this is very, very likely. There's actually two huge sources, one of them being Forbes magazine, saying that this is very, very likely in the works right now. They cannot get hide nor hair from Nintendo directly, but when you're that big of a news outlet, like, it's not hard for you to get somebody down the road that's like, yeah, we made that for Nintendo. So likelihood that this is a thing, I'm not going all the way up. I'm keeping it back a little bit, being a little conservative. Validity to this rumor, we're looking at about 80% validity to this, just because, again, we've heard rumors like this for a long time. So either it's legitimately been in the works for a long time or Nintendo's secretly working on a new console, something, but something is in the works. We know that. We just don't know that it's this. Moving on to our next piece, we have the mutants in the news, or the rumors, whatever. Mutants, not the X-Men, but reportedly there is a project that is somewhere in production over at the Marvel MCU, Kevin Feige-led unit, you know, the thing with the stuff and the awesome. The current name for this project is simply The Mutants. mutants. It is not the X-Men, though this could be a code name. The source does say this very possibly is just a code name. Considering the gendered nature of the name X-Men, I would not be surprised if this thing exists, that it stuck with that name, the Mutants, even though that's not nearly as iconic, nor does it quite roll off the tongue the same. This one comes from one source and one source only. I have not heard anybody else quoting this one source, so that kind of lends away from it. But again, I just wouldn't be surprised. I'm giving this one about the same that we gave our first rumor, and we're going at about 30% likelihood that this is valid. Our final piece of rumor is a rumor and is also being billed as something else entirely. So it has to do with The Mandalorian. Cara Dune is the center of this. Surprise, surprise. So the Rangers of the New Republic, that show that they talked about, that Cara Dune was reportedly supposed to be, this one comes from a number of places, where Cara Dune was supposed to be the primary protagonist, or at least one of the primary protagonists for this series. Well, what with Gina Carano getting fired, and now very likely they're not going to recast. I don't care how many outlets are billing this as Cara Dune has been recast. No, that is not what this rumor says. This rumor says that the character has been replaced. The character she's being replaced with is Hera Syndulla. Hera Syndulla, who appeared in the Rebels and in the game Squadrons. This will be her first time in the live-action saga. So she'll be another one of those characters that's been in multiple iterations of the IP. It'll be her first time in live-action, so on and so forth. I think there is some validity to this. In spite of the source, I think there is some validity to this. This might not be the character they go with, but they're going to go with a character that is established somewhere else in the universe. That I think is a given. So likelihood, we're going to break this in half. Likelihood that they're going to replace the role of Cara Dune with another character, that somebody's going to serve that same purpose in this Rangers show. 95%. Like, there's going to be one badass female, and the other half that we've broken this into, is it going to be Hera? I don't think so. I'm going to put that one at about 50-50. That's a likely solution. I just don't know if it's the one they're going to go with. So that is your rumor section, nerds.